Hey, welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Dream Homes. We'll start spreading the news because today we're going to New York, New York. Okay, hang on tight, boys and girls, because we're heading to New York. And specifically, we're going to Manhattan. And if you remember from an earlier Fantasy Dream Homes episode, Manhattan Island it's one of the boroughs of New York. And it's actually physically an island. So here you have this, everything on my pointer is going over is Manhattan. Okay, and I'm just going to get a little closer here. You can see that the river is physically separating it right here. This is all Manhattan. Okay, and most of what we're going to be talking about is going to be like starting at Midtown right here. Matter of fact, right where my pointer is at, that's where one of the hotels is, or what's called Lower Manhattan, which is down here. Okay, so let's take a look at our first property, and we're using Zillow today. Hooray! I haven't used Zillow in a while. So the first property we're going to look at, cha-ching, is, and here's your, it's $49 million. That's US, and here's your conversions. And let's go ahead and plug in our address in Google Earth so we can see it from above. And here we go. Okay, so right away you see that it is located right across the street from a very significant landmark. And I don't know how many of you know this, what this building is here. Anybody have a clue? Anyone? Class? This is the United Nations Security Council building, the United Nations building. Okay. So, and this particular property is right across the street from that. Okay. It's in this building right here. So let's go to our video notes. It's $49 million. And we're in Manhattan, and all three of these properties we're going to look at today are extremely high luxury properties. And I haven't looked at all the pics, but I've looked at quite a few of them. I think you're in for a major treat. Okay, so this particular building is 4 bedrooms, 6.5 baths. It's 9,704 square feet, or about approximately 902 square meters. It was built in 2015. So it says, discover a breathtaking world of privacy and prestige. The Duplex Penthouse at 50 United Nations Plaza. The ultimate global address. So it's designed by architects Foster and Partners. And Foster and Partners, we always like it when the description includes the architects, because we care about architects. So I want to just take a look at their website. So Foster and Partners is a British international studio for architecture and integrated design, and its headquarters in London. And we take a look at this website, and this is their website. Absolutely beautiful building, and we're in a slideshow here, so we'll wait for it to go. Okay, so now here we have the Vatican Pavilion Chapel that they designed, and I always like to look and see what kind of other work that they did. Okay, and then we go on and go, all right, what is this about? Why do architects think they can design furniture? And because they can't. It's a piece of furniture, and I just don't think, I'm going to go back to that. I think it's boring, and I don't know why they waste their time with furniture. Stick to buildings. Let the furniture designers do furniture. And they do great work. It's just, I just thought that was, it was just, when you look at some of the work that they do, I mean, it's absolutely stunning, magnificent architectural design. It's blow you away type stuff. It's absolutely amazing. So no need to put furniture on your front page, boys and girls. So so getting on with our real estate here description. And so we know about Foster and Partners. So the property is described as 9,700 square feet of interior living space with two extraordinary outdoor spaces. One, a large terrace ideally situated off the main 73-foot living area. The other, a 30-plus foot outdoor swimming pool and IPE wood deck, which link the master bedroom sitting room to a large entertainment lounge featuring a gas fireplace and equipped with catering kitchen. IPE wood. What the heck is that? I didn't know. Well, it turns out it's actually pronounced Ipe wood. And Ipe wood is, and this is why I love doing this, because I get to learn about all these very resilient materials that are being used in building. It says right here, Ipe, spelled IPE and pronounced Ipe, also called Brazilian walnut, is a beautiful exotic wood from South America. Ipe wood structures are hard, strong, and naturally resistant to rot, abrasion, weather, and insects. It is almost twice as dense as most woods and up to 5 times harder. It is medium to darker brown in color, like a mahogany. So not only lasts a long time, but has the beauty of a fine interior wood. If Ipe lumber is allowed to patina, color could be brought back to its original shade with the use of a cleaner and brightener. So it means it's very, it's easy to keep clean. Ipe wood lumber has become a very popular and inexpensive alternative to teak lumber. And this is going to be in your show notes. Everything we talk about will be in the show notes. The pros and cons of Ipe wood, what's the price, where is it from, how is it used. So, very interesting article. Okay, so back to our property. Going on with the description, and this is a really long description, but we're talking about basically a $50 million property here. So, a 2-story bay window provides cinematic views of the Manhattan skyline, which becomes the backdrop to an interconnecting stainless steel floating staircase joining the 42nd and 43rd floors of this incomparable trophy home. A private interior elevator is also provided. Surprise, surprise. Views of the East River and Manhattan skyline, the Chrysler Empire State Buildings, the United Nations, and beyond. In addition to the main master bedroom suite, which occupies half of the 43rd floor, there are 3 additional master bedrooms and 2 staff rooms. Well, why not? If you're going to build, if you're going to build a multi-million-dollar property, why not just make all of the rooms master bedrooms, right? Why not? On-site parking is available for purchase. What? You have to buy the parking? But it's New York, parking is, it's crazy to have a car in New York. The full-time staff doorman, concierge, and a resident manager stand ready to assist while valets park vehicles underground. A temple to luxurious wellness, the black marble-clad Health and Fitness Center features a 75-foot swimming pool, the most glamorous in New York. Interesting. The most glamorous swimming pool in New York. It's quite a bold statement. So, here's your private pool right here. And this is your Ipe wood. Okay? And what you're going to see here is a lot of absolutely spectacular views. And of course, so this would be the Chrysler Building, you know, and this is going to be the Empire State Building. And there's a lot of amazing buildings that are going up in New York right now. And yes, I have been in New York. Definitely recommend it for people to see. It's one of those things. And see, now here's your United Nations right here, right across the street. So let's keep going. And you're just going to see absolutely crazy views. There's your, Jeeves, will you fetch the car? Okay, so there's your doorman waiting out front and valets ready to park your car. And this is your doorman right here, or the residential manager. And this would be the most luxurious pool in all of Manhattan. Interesting. This is a duplex penthouse. So it means you're getting probably half of the entire two floors. So you're getting 2 floors, but you don't get the entire 2 floors. You get one side of 2 floors. Which, when you look at these views, I mean, these views they're absolutely incredible. Knock your socks off views. Amazing. So, you know, it's not even almost worth commenting on anything else because the views are so spectacular. Can you imagine waking up to a view like this? It's just, why would you leave? You would just have pizza delivered downstairs in the basement and have a doorman just bring up the pizza. Fred, whatever. So, spectacular views. Absolutely stunning, spectacular views. And this particular unit is not staged, but, all they have to show you is this, and they're going to justify everything. So, it's incredible. That's your floating staircase. Isn't that a beautiful staircase? It's just amazing. Look at the view. I believe that's the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't claim to be an expert on New York, but wow. I mean, unbelievable. Okay, so that's our first property. Okay, so let's go from here to our next property. Hey, we're just right down the street. So this is the Madison Square Park Tower. And wait till you thought the views in this other one were amazing. Wait till you get the views in this one. So it's this big tall skyscraper right here, okay? So this next piece property, it's selling for $48 million US, and here are your conversions to your local currency. And we see that this particular unit is 5 bedrooms, 7.5 baths. It's 7,028 square feet, or approximately 653 square meters. It was built in 2016, so it's just a couple years old. It's also referred to as a duplex penthouse in the Madison Square Park Tower, and it's designed by the architectural firm Kohn Pedersen Fox Associates. And Kohn Pedersen Fox are headquartered in New York City, and again, these are absolutely beautiful. Now, this is One Vanderbilt. This building, they're working on this right now. It's going to be, I'm going to go back. It is going to be an amazing. You're going to see this from all over Manhattan. This is going to be an amazing piece of architecture. So, And this is, some of the work they do. And like I said, I'm so glad they can tell us who the architects are, because I always want to know. I want to look at their work, and I'm speeding through these here. They do, they don't just do residential, they do a lot of commercial work, and it's some absolutely amazing commercial work. And again, these will be included in your the show notes. So, but getting back to the property and the description. So it says this exclusive offering includes 2 private parking spaces as well as 2 separate studio apartments for staff or guests located within the tower. So it's a totally separate unit. So let's take a look at this. So, and many of the pictures are just showing the view, and that's all they have to do. Because look at this. I mean, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Now look at this. I actually checked this out, and I thought, holy cow, is Manhattan that big? So you are sitting in what's considered Midtown Manhattan, and that's Lower Manhattan, because we're actually looking south. Okay, we're to the north of all these buildings. We're up here in the north. That's in the south. That's called Lower Manhattan over there. Okay, how far do you think it is to one Millennium Tower? Millennium Tower is a Millennial Tower. I actually measured that. How far do you think that is? Just guess. 10 miles? 5 miles? Well, turns out it's only 2.25 miles. And how could that be? Look at the hundreds, if not hundreds and hundreds of buildings between you and there. 2.25 miles. From here to there. So, just thought you might find that interesting. I actually measured it with Google Earth's measuring tool. I use the so you take your circle tool and you just extend it like this, and then you back out, and then you head south to Lower Manhattan, and then you scoot over a ways, and you start zooming in until you find your target, and one Millennial Tower. Is right there. And I click, and it locks it in place, and it's approximately, it's 2.25 miles, a hair over. So it's 2.25 miles, or about 3.68 kilometers. And the views are amazing. Every one of these. And now we're looking at the inside of the building, and you have all these views in all different directions. This is why it's approximately $50 million penthouse. It's as good. These are considered some of the most prestigious views on the entire planet Earth. People want to see this. It's just amazing. So, and when you look at these rooms, no matter where you are, you have these ridiculous views. It's like, well, furnish it any way you want. People are going to be so distracted by the views, they're never going to look at your furniture. The views are stunning. So let's keep going here. And this looks more like an artist's rendering. It's probably hired by the real estate firm. But, it's... And you have your obligatory play area and your gym. So that's property number 2. Was it worth it? You think you'd like to live in a place like that? I wouldn't mind living in a place like that. So onward to the third property. And the third property if I remember correctly, is even more amazing as far as all the stuff that there is to see. All right, let's see where our third property is. So we're heading back up. We're still in Midtown right here, and this is Central Park. In case you didn't know, this huge rectangular park. This is all part of Central Park. It's the biggest park in New York City. Okay. This particular property, as we zoom in, is part of what's called the Plaza Hotel. This is one of the most famous hotels in all of New York. And it's famous for so many reasons. So let me pull up my, go back to Zillow here. And there's so much to be said about this. So, first of all, this particular property is going for $50 million on the nose. Cha-ching! Here's your conversions. And there are 4 bedrooms, 4 baths. It's 6,000 approximately square feet, or about 562 square meters. Built in 1907. It's called the corner duplex penthouse atop the legendary Plaza residences. The Plaza Hotel is a landmark 20-story luxury hotel and condominium apartment building in Midtown Manhattan. And it's recognized as a historic hotel of America by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. I've included the Wikipedia page for the Plaza Hotel because there's so many things and celebrities have stayed here. I know for a lot of hotels, a lot of TV shows that are filmed out of New York. A lot of the major networks will book their guests at the Plaza Hotel, among other hotels. Okay. So the construction on the first Plaza Hotel at this location began in 1883 on the site of the New York Skating Club. The builders ran out of money, and the New York Life Insurance Company foreclosed and hired the most celebrated architects of that time, McKim, Mead, and White, to complete the hotel, which finally opened on October 1st, 1890. It soon became apparent that the first hotel was far too small, and it was demolished in 1905, and a new, larger Plaza Hotel, a French Renaissance chateau-style building designed by Henry J. Hardenberg, was constructed in 27 months at a cost of $12.5 million U.S., and it opened to the public on October 1st, 1907. Now, some of the people that have owned the building, Conrad Hilton. You may recognize that name. That's Conrad Hilton started Hilton Hotels. He's worth reading about on your own sometime. I read a book many years ago when I was a kid about Conrad Hilton. He was a guy who started out as a busboy and eventually owned one of the largest hotel empires in the world, the Hilton Hotel chain. Well, he owned the Plaza Suites hotels. Donald Trump owned them for a while. The Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, owned them for a while. And now they're owned by an Indian holding a real estate company. But lots of Trump got married there to one of his wives. Lots of performers have performed there. Josephine Baker, Liza Minnelli, Marlena Dietrich, Lena Horne. Miles Davis did a recording there in 1958 in the Persian Room. So I mean, it's worth checking out the Wikipedia page. A lot of things have happened there. But one of my favorite things that happened, and it's not even in the Wikipedia page, I can't believe it. There is the 1968 play and the 1971 movie by the same name of Neil Simon's play, Plaza Suite. The movie will star Walter Matthau, Maureen Stapleton, Barbara Harris, and Lee Grant. And the play is in the film, and I highly recommend it because it's a great movie. The play or the film, both, they're divided into 3 acts, and they're all set at the Plaza Suite Hotel's room 719. And what I will tell you is, if I ever stay in New York again, I want to stay at the Plaza Suite Hotel, room 719. I love that movie. Highly recommend it. Hope you watch it sometime. So getting back to a real estate description, it says it's home to a renowned American fashion lifestyle designer. I want to know who that is. Any guesses out there, kiddies? I'd be curious to know. It says the fashionable 12-room home has undergone a $20 million renovation and was perfectly restored to the original grandeur of the French Renaissance style. Each room features significant proportions with 10 to 35-foot ceiling heights and exquisite custom millwork, stonework, reclaimed hardwood floors, and special design Nan's hardware. Well, then I'm sitting there going, what the heck is Nan's hardware? So I looked it up like I always do. And this is Nan's hardware. Nan's company manufactures fine custom hardware for beautiful homes around the world. And it's headquartered in New York City. So I wanted to see, what do they do? Let's see what kind of stuff they do. Okay, so click on catalog. Let's go to hinges. Alright, so that's a hinge. Scroll down. Oh my gosh. They have all different kinds of hinges. Wow. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so that's hinges. What about knobs? Like doorknobs. Alright, I want to see. Scroll down. Okay, wow. Holy cow, look at all that. And that's just page 1. Let's go to page 3. It's amazing. These are all knobs, like doorknobs and knobs for, furniture if you want. I mean, it's astounding. Nan's is the place to go for all those sort of hardware accessory pieces that can be so incredibly hard to find. And especially if you have an older home, and when I say older than 50 years or more, this is the kind of place that's going to have your antique looking handles, but the products are going to be brand new and in great shape. So that's Nan's company. So getting back to our description, it says the main level opens to a large gallery that leads to a grand salon. Also featured is an alcove library, a custom paneled stately office, a media room with a decorative fireplace, and a formal dining room with a wet bar. And it says the majestic dome tea room showcases a custom hand-painted mural by Hilary Knight, author of Eloise at the Plaza. I didn't know who Hilary Knight was, so I searched. Well, Hilary Knight is an American writer and artist. And I thought it was a woman. No, it's a man. He is the illustrator of more than 50 books and the author of 9 books. He's best known as the illustrator of Kay Thompson's Eloise and other of the Eloise series. so now you know who Hillary Knight is. It has, getting on with the description, bistro-inspired eat-in kitchen. The upper level, connected by a sweeping spiral staircase, leads to 4 private bedroom suites and 4 full bathrooms. The luxurious corner tower master suite is a sophisticated retreat and includes a decorative fireplace, double dressing rooms, and a spa-inspired bathroom. The private magical terrace overlooking Central Park is enhanced by the plaza's famed, architecturally significant grand dome. 3 additional whimsical bedroom suites are nautical, rock and roll, and lavender fields themed. And then it says a handsome guest sitting room and laundry complete this level. Here's the grand dome that they're talking about that overlooks Central Park. Okay, let's take a look at these pictures. So there's our dome. That's a close-up. And now this is your terrace, right here. This is your private terrace. And that's Central Park. See, so again, spectacular views. Now this, I can't tell, but this looks like fringe. I think this is one enormous area rug. I don't think that's a tiled floor. I think that's actually a rug. This is a gigantic rug. And look at this color. How do you get this color? I don't even know. All this wooded trim and molding. How would you describe that? But it's certainly got wow factor, doesn't it? I mean, wow. This whole room is wow. See this right here? That's pretty sure that's an Andy Warhol painting. And so let's take a look at Andy Warhol paintings, for example. Let's see what they look like. So as we scroll down, there's a very unique look to them. And you can see, I mean, it's almost unmistakably an Andy Warhol painting. So I like some of his work a lot. Like here's Liz Taylor, and you're going to see her in another room. Like I like these. Some of it, not so much. Like this, not so much. So let's go on to our next room. Okay, so that's the staircase that was right over here. We couldn't see it. It was just out of view. It's over here. So let's... And, I mean, it almost looks like we're in a theater. Look at that bright red carpet. It's amazing. It's, and this parquet floor over here. I mean, how would you describe this color? It's just, it's... How does a painter do this? It's amazing. I just have no clue at all. So my question is to you is, when the new buyer comes and buys this, do they redecorate the entire thing, painting all new colors and putting all new flooring down and all new walls? I wonder. Or are they going to stay with it? Whoa. You like purple? Lavender. This is the whimsical lavender room, themed room that they were talking about. Okay, and this is the nautical room they were talking about. You can see the sea flags and stuff like that. So, this is more of a children's themed room, obviously. But it's really cool looking. And I almost wish, unfortunately, that's the last picture. That color really goes. It's blue. You can't... We need a couple more pictures, but unfortunately they're not going to show us more. But that is an amazing home. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was one of these homes had mentioned that the architectural forum had won the Pritzker Prize. So I didn't know what that was, and I wanted to read about it. So it says it's awarded annually to honor the living a living architect or architects whose built work demonstrates a combination of those qualities of talent, vision, commitment, which has produced consistent, significant contributions to humanity and the built environment through the art of architecture. So this award is like the Nobel Prize of architecture. It's a very, very famous prize in architecture. So I'm reading about it, and I'm looking at all these people that have won. And you just scroll down, keep going and going and going and going, and then I see this about controversy. In 2013, the student organization Women in Design at the Harvard Graduate School of Design started a petition on the behalf of Denise Scott Brown to receive joint recognition with her partner, past prize winner Robert Venturi, furthering a debate about sexism in architecture. And it goes on, and I Googled sexism in architecture, and I came up with several articles, and this one's in the Huffington Post. And it's a fairly recent article, last year, from the date of this recording. Actually, not even a year old. Sexism is alive and well in architecture. It says sexism takes many forms in architecture. Possibly the most common is the profession's discrimination against women. While nearly half of architecture school students are women, their numbers quickly drop off after graduation. Among practicing architects, men still outnumber women 4-1, and they receive nearly 28% higher pay, according to reports. A 2014 survey showed that over 60% of women feel the building industry doesn't accept their authority, and 2/3 have experienced some form of sexism in their career, often on a regular basis. Women also rarely reap the rewards of the profession. In the century since the American Institute of Architects began awarding its highest honor, the gold medal, no living woman has won. The only female recipient, Julia Morgan, who got it just last year, died in 1957, 6 decades before being recognized. In the previous 20 years, only 2 other posthumous awards have been given to male architects who each had died only a few years earlier. Among the 40 winners of the Pritzker Prize, Architecture's Nobel, only 2, Zaha Hadid and Kazuyo Sejima, have been women, and Sejima shared the prize with her male partner. Notoriously, Denise Scott Brown was snubbed when her partner Robert Venturi won in 1991. Well, the reason I'm concerned about this is, as a guy who grew up with 5 sisters, I tend to be my radar is very open to discrimination against women. But even more importantly, I have a daughter. And I do not believe in living in a world where life is going to be tough on my daughter simply by the fact that she is a woman. She should be treated with equal pay, equal respect, and equal opportunities that a man would receive. So I love architecture, but apparently there's a real problem with sexism in architecture, and I'd like to see that change. But enough said about that architecture. Just get your act together and start making a better profession and a better working world for women. They deserve it. All right, so that's the 3 absolutely stunning, amazing, wowie zowie fantasy dream homes in Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan and Lower Manhattan. Hope you liked them. Hey, well, those 3 homes were by far the most luxurious homes we've seen so far on Fantasy Dream Homes. Hey, if you like what you're seeing here, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down below. And as always, keep smiling, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.